Hey everyone, welcome to Comics with Bueller. As always, I'm Bueller. Today is episode 112 of the brand new Coffee and Comics Show, and as you can see, I'm not alone. I got my good friend Bob here with me. Bob, how you doing today?
I'm thawed out.
Yeah?
But I'm doing good. Got power, got heat, got, hot water.
Yeah, we're all back up and running. We had to take last week off.
Yeah.
We didn't have any power, nothing was going on. There was a huge storm. We'll actually talk about that a little bit later in the show. But we are back today, finally. And it feels like we've been gone for a while.
Feels like forever.
It does. Did you miss us? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I don't know. But you know what? We always start off with the coffee that we're drinking. And what are you drinking today? Because you got some great coffee from none other than Mocha Express.
Mocha Express.
The place that didn't lose power.
They didn't.
During the whole thing, and they were packed.
And good for them. To get on a windfall like that was just, they deserve
Exactly.
it.
They definitely do. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking my favorite thing from them, which is their cold brew, and I got some sugar-free vanilla sweetener in it.
Come on.
It's tasty.
Oh, the tastiness. You love that stuff, don't
I
you?
do. So
there you go. Well, I'm having none other than the Bueller.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had a lot of coffee as of late, but you know what? I was like, Bob, are you going there on the way here? It's like, yeah, I'm like, cool. Make sure you get me the Bueller or whatnot. So he
With
did.
an extra shot.
With an extra shot, because I needed it, so I'm going to have it. It's so good.
So good.
It's
when it hits the tongue,
once
so
it hits
good.
the lips.
The lips,
I just lose it, man. I definitely need it. And like I said, they didn't lose power.
Yeah.
And I drove by there when everything else was shut down, and they were the only place that were open. I walked in there, and they are packed. And it was so nice to see them packed, and everyone was distant and all that stuff, And the funny thing is, they just now reopened the restaurant so people can actually sit down.
Yeah.
So people are actually sitting down and enjoying the coffee and stuff like that. Something that maybe me and you could do later this week. So
something we haven't done for a while, man.
It's been too long.
Way too long.
So we can go sit down, relax, have some coffee, talk about some comics, some other stuff.
Talk about everybody that walks in and make fun of them.
There you go. Maybe buy a couple of them a coffee. I don't know, something like that.
There you go.
Okay, let me do a rundown of what we got going on today. We got our first 5 brought to you by Comic Proline. We'll have our topic, and our topic is, if you had $2,500 to spend on comics, what comics would you buy? And there's a variety of different answers that we got. Everything from Super Grails to $2,500 worth of 50-cent books.
I love it.
That's a lot of comics, man. So that should be a fun topic. We have our final 5 brought to you by Comic Proline. We'll have Robbie's Pick of the Week. I think you just read that, right?
I did.
Cool, so you'll be able to give some feedback on that. We'll have our Was It Good segment, and we're going to kind of... since we didn't have a show last week, we kind of went with what we were able to read, because a lot of us haven't gotten our books yet, and I still haven't gotten my books from last week or this week. You just got your books yesterday, so we just kind of grabbed some random books that we did read, and we'll review those for you guys, and we'll tell you what we'll review next week as well. We also have our random thoughts. We're both all caught up on WandaVision, so we get to talk about that. We'll talk about the Spawn thing. Spawn Universe has kind of just been announced. That sounds pretty interesting. We'll hit that a little bit.
News.
And some other stuff as well. And you know what? We'll just kind of wrap it up with that when we're all done.
Sounds good.
Some random thoughts after random thoughts.
After random thoughts.
There we go.
The thoughts after the thoughts.
I want to say thank you. We got some new Patreon members. Actually, just one. We have Chris Oh my gosh. Chris MRKVICKA.
I don't even want to try.
Yeah, you got it, Chris. Anyway, Chris, thank you for joining our Patreon, our newest member. If you want to join our Patreon, it's $3.99 a month. The price of one comic book. If you think we provide the value of one comic book a month, please feel free to join our Patreon. It keeps the lights on. It makes us able to do this. The shows are brought to you by you. That's pretty cool. So thank you so much, Chris. And your last name, you keep it to yourself. So there you go. I can't talk. I try.
I know.
It's funny because I try to pronounce people's names, and then people will say, this is how it's pronounced. And I thought, isn't that what I said?
Right.
I can't understand how they type it out.
You have you have no idea how many people came back to me and were talking about how you pronounce Shinokage. Shinokage. And you're like, Shinokage, Shinokage.
I got it right. I don't know what they're talking about.
I loved it.
It don't matter. We also had some super chats a couple weeks ago. Let me hit those real quick. We had one from Nova69. Thank you, Nova.
Thank you, Nova.
We had one from Jesus or Jesus Ramon. Thank you, Thomas Jackman. And then I went from him. I think he's like 4 weeks in a row.
Thanks, guys.
And Metal Clergy as well. That was all on our 3-year anniversary show. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
everyone. And I also want to say we hit another milestone.
What's that?
We hit 2 million views.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Woo!
2 million. Well, it's actually over 2 million now. But 2 million times people have clicked on play on the videos on Comics with Bueller.
That's amazing.
It's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
There you go.
Come on.
I like it. And I also want to take a minute and talk about an exclusive comic that's coming out this week, or it might be available right now. It's from Kingdom of Comics, and this is a comic shop I went to in Florida. And this was brought to my attention by my friend Chris. They have an exclusive. It's called The Recount #2, which is actually a book I'm going to be reviewing on this show. Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite books. They have an exclusive variant that'll pop up right here. It's an homage cover to the Heat movie, which
Love this cover.
Awesome cover, awesome movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer.
Uh-huh.
Probably one of the last really good movies, to be honest.
Al Pacino, Robert De Niro having that face off. Love it.
But it's a great looking exclusive. It's limited to 250 copies. You can order it on their website. I'll put a link down below. Like I said, this is a really good book. This was the first one was like the #1 selling independent title when it came out a few months ago. And I've read this one. I don't want to give too much away, but I will spoil it a little bit later in the show because I did read it. And it's awesome. So anyway, very cool looking cover. Thank you, Chris, for letting us know. And this is Kingdom of Comics. Like I said, I'll put a link down below. Go to their website, click on this if there's something you want. There you go. Only 250 copies.
Sweet.
And I talked to the creator as well. He's a really great gentleman and stuff. I talked to him about the book. He had a lot of good things to say about it. I actually talked to him about eventually maybe I make an exclusive for it or something like that.
Sweet.
I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
Well, there you go. All right, so let's just jump right into it. Let's go with our first 5. And Bob, you can go first with the first 5 brought to you by none other than Comic Pro Line.
That's awesome stuff. So I haven't showed any of these off for a while. I brought some of the prestige format of the Black Label books of the larger size magazine format. And there's Joker and Harley #3. Make sure I don't drop these.
I don't like those big ones.
I know you don't. This is Joker Killer Smile #2.
I actually did buy a few that were $1 at the dollar sale, and so
that's the only way you would have bought them.
Yeah.
This is The Question, The Deaths of Vic Sage. I think this is #1.
Nice.
And then Harleen, book 1. I love this cover.
There you go.
And then last but not least, Batman Damned #3. That Jim Lee weird cover.
It's making me nervous.
There we go. And there they all are. That's my first 5.
All right, good.
There you go. I did it.
There you go. Very cool, man. I think I have a couple of those. I don't bag and board those.
Yeah, they're kind of a weird bag, and you have to buy the magazine boards.
I'm not doing that.
Well, I did.
I think I should just get them for free, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
They're a little expensive. But.
Yeah. Okay, so I got mine here. These are kind of a mixture of some goodness here. This is Captain Universe Marvel Spotlight #10. Apparently, Captain Universe is popular right now.
Sweet.
Web of Spider-Man #8. I just like this cover.
I've always loved that cover.
Yeah. And #11, also one of my favorite Web of Spider-Man covers.
Yeah.
Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, #114. Look, she's crying.
She's crying.
That's too bad. And we're going to round it out with Fantastic Four, #91. Look at that.
That's an awesome cover.
Awesome cover, some old goodness. You got some new stuff, I got some old stuff.
It's new to old.
Yeah.
We show it all off here.
Old, new.
Oh, get it out of here. Moving on with the show, folks.
Whatever, anyway, so that's our first 5 brought to you by Comic Pro Line. Not some pretty nice stuff there,
Yeah.
Your big magazines don't really fit, but that's whatever.
It's all right.
Yeah, okay.
But it made it.
Apparently. You had to cradle it. All right, let's move on to our topic.
Yeah.
And our topic today is brought to you by Blackbox Comics. You can go to our website, blackboxcomics.net. Enter the code Bueller10, save 10%. They got those lovely, shiny covers for that new Devil's Dominion book. Did you read that finally?
I did read it.
Did you like it?
I did like it.
It's pretty good, wasn't it?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I read it 6 months ago.
The artwork is amazing.
Yeah, it definitely is. The artwork is really good. And I like I said, I like the shiny cover.
Yeah.
And anytime you can get a shiny cover with that type of... It was the coloration that they used on it, the reds, the purples, and stuff like that, that really made it pop. So
yeah.
It was very cool.
It was good stuff.
But anyway, our topic today is what would you do with $2,500 to spend on comic books?
Yeah.
The reason we came up with the $2,500 is because there is a comic book Berserker #1, the 1 in 1,000 autographed by Keanu Reeves, is selling for $2,500. A brand new book. It's not even seen the light of day. It's not even out yet. But people have already spent that much money on it. So that's why we wanted to raise the question.
Right.
If you had that money, would you buy something like that? Or would you buy something else? Like I said, there's a lot of different scenarios for this. But you had to spend the money. I mean, you can't like, oh, I'm just going to keep it, or whatnot,
Right.
You get permission to spend this money on comic books.
Yeah.
From whoever's in your life. Ladies, men, I don't know what it is, You have permission to spend $2,500 and not feel guilty, because that's the hard part,
right,
on comic books. So anyway, Bob, you were up first.
All right, so the first one comes from Caleb Rapp. He says, let's do something crazy. $2,500 worth of comic mystery boxes. Oh, Comic Tom would love you.
Oh, my God. Okay, so let me ask you a mystery box. Because there's some spendy ones out there.
There are.
The Spider-Man booth one, like they have the special one, like $300.
Yeah.
I've seen some people open those as of late, like the newer versions. They're not happy with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they used to be better. I've bought some in the past, the regular ones, but never the $300 ones.
Yeah.
But what's the price point that if you were to buy a mystery box, that you'd be okay with?
I think the highest I've paid is $50. That's about as high as I'll go.
Yeah.
Because so far, out of all the mystery boxes that I've bought, I don't feel that I've actually got the value that I was hoping that I would get out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever I buy something like that, to me, it's more like a raffle ticket. I mean, I could get the prize book. 9 times out of 10, of course, they know exactly where that prize book is going.
Yeah.
But that's
what does that mean, Bob?
What does it mean? It means that some of these things are rigged, Bueller. We already covered that one.
Maybe we should revisit that sometime. It's been a while.
I know, huh? But bottom line is, I think the highest priced one I saw, I think, was from Chew Comics. It was a $400 box.
Wow.
And that's just, I mean, from what I understand, that particular box is pretty good.
Yeah.
But I still wouldn't pay that much.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I got way too many comics that I don't want in my collection that I need to get rid of. And whenever I buy a mystery box, I'm usually getting a bunch of stuff that I probably wouldn't buy myself.
Yeah.
Right? And so for that reason, $50 is as high as I'll go. And usually that's for a chance to win something.
$2,500 in mystery boxes. That would be quite the...
That would be crazy.
Quite the unboxing.
Yeah, it would.
I mean, you guys know me. I wouldn't spend more than $10 on a mystery box or $20 or whatnot, to be totally honest.
So wait, you've never bought one of Tom's mystery boxes?
No.
Not one.
No. He sent me stuff.
I know, yes.
He sent this. I've showed it on the show and stuff like that. But no, I've never bought them. And there's a few reasons for that. One reason was, Tom and I have been friends for a long time, and we kind of started doing the boxes at the same time.
Right.
My mystery box and his monthly subscription box, and when very low, not very many people were doing it, and I was always like, if I were to win something, it would look bad.
Yeah.
So I was always, and Tom would kind of agree. He's like, if I were to, it's random, but if the pool back then, maybe 100 people were doing it, and if I were to win something big, and here me and Tom are doing shows together all the time, that would look bad. It just would.
Right.
Perception, you're going to see that, and I totally understand it. So I told Tom, I said, yeah, it's probably not a good idea. He's like, yeah, I agree. He goes, it'd be like Ryan, Fire Guy Ryan,
huh?
getting a mystery box and getting a Hulk 181.
Right.
It's just not going to look good. So
For sure.
But no, I've never. He sent some of his books to me, like his exclusive ones. And the ones he has extra, because he doesn't sell them. And if he has some left over, what are you going to do with them?
Right.
And he always has some left over. So he sent me a couple boxes. He told me he sent me another box, but...
Sweet. So here's a question for you.
It's been a while.
If you were to get an order for $2,500 today, just a single order for a mystery box, or for your Bueller box, would you be able to fill those?
No. I couldn't even fill order for $10 right now.
People understand that's a hard thing to do, to keep filling those.
It is. It definitely is a hard thing. I mean, just do the math. I mean, let's just take since we're talking about Tom, let's just say Tom, and we're just going to use a figure. And I don't know the numbers. Let's just say he has 1,000 people signed up for his mystery mail call. and say every box has, every box has 5 to 6 comics. So that's you do the math. That's 6,000. Is that right? No,
Yep.
6,000 books.
5 to 6,000 books.
Yeah, and think of how much volume you're moving out every month for 6,000 books that you're having to ship out to everyone. That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
And I remember asking him one time when he first started, I go, man, how much can you handle? Because doing 100 ones a month, you can probably handle that. That's no problem. You can figure it out. I've done that many. But doing 1,000, that's a lot of work, man.
It's a lot of work.
No one person can do it, So anyway,
yeah,
$2,500 on Mystery Box wouldn't do it
for sure. Interesting questions, though.
Yep. You got the next one as well.
Sure. The next one comes from Johnny Rutt. He said, if I had $2,500 to spend, I would try to buy all fillers to all my favorite books. To see full runs in your collection would be amazing, and it would be a goal I could check off. Great video. Keep up the great videos.
Are you working on any runs?
Only Daredevil and Spawn.
Really?
Are the only two.
How would that be something you'd invest in?
I would.
Yeah.
I mean that's actually an interesting idea.
Yeah.
To go ahead and especially on the Spawn runs, because there's some books in there that are really spendy that are hard to get.
Yeah.
And so that right there would be, something I would definitely entertain. That's an interesting concept.
Yeah. The two I'm working on are the X-Men and my Iron Man. I'm not too far away, and I could definitely fill those with $2,500. No problem. And actually, as we get towards the end of this, I'll kind of share with you what I would spend the $2,500 on. I think Bob might have thought about it as well.
Yeah.
But I think runs would be a nice way to go, because it's nice when you got a nice run of books, especially like a Spawn or whatnot, or Daredevil and stuff, and you see that and you get every single one of them. It feels kind of good.
It does.
It does. Even when I had my full run of New Mutants, which is only $100, I was like, that's a nice short box of books. It fits perfectly. I sold every one of them.
Yeah.
But it was cool, to have all those books. I had the whole run. So that's definitely something I would entertain and do to finish out. Depending on the series, some are more affordable than others.
Yeah.
Spawn ones are spiking, as far as the lower quantity sold ones that were in the early 200s and stuff like that. Those are kind of spending to get right now, but very cool.
Next one comes from Bravo Delta. I would buy as many comics as I could that came out of my birth and month year. That is something I've always wanted to do. I'd also save a few bucks for some chalupas.
All right, so priority chalupa, awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But you can't use that money for chalupas.
So here's the question.
What?
How old is this guy? Because that right there is the question about your month and year.
That's true. But have you heard about that?
What's that?
Buying the books that came out your birth year and month?
No, I haven't heard of anybody doing it, but I can see that would be something that would be an appealing concept.
A friend of mine, he was doing that, and he was buying all the books that came out his birth year and month. And apparently there's some website or something that will tell you which ones that came out that month or whatever it was, what year and month that came out. I don't know what the website is. So if you guys know what it is, let me know. But I think that's kind of cool. So for me, it would be July 75. Mm-hmm. For you, it would be
October 66.
52.
52. Let's throw this coffee.
Come on, man. It's two already. But I think it would be kind of cool to have, kind of that stuff. I remember buying, like the baseball card set for my son when he was born. Mm-hmm. Like that year I bought the baseball cards and stuff like that for the whole set. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to it. I think he might have had them or something like that. But I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to look into that and get all those books. If it was a crappy month, then you might have a lot of money left over.
For sure.
For chalupas.
Not bad. It's a lot of chalupas,
there
man.
You go. All right, you got the next one as well.
All right, so the next one comes from EditFan87. He said, if I had $2,500 to spend on comics, I would definitely go crazy at my LCS back issue section.
All right, when I read this, now let's see if you remember these, okay? When I was young, there were always Saturday morning cartoons.
Yep.
And they're always like, there was sweepstakes for the Toys R Us shopping spree.
Yep.
Okay? And I used to see that and be like, man, I'd love to fill that cart up.
Yep.
Run those aisles like a freaking maniac. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they'd give you like a minute to run around, or 5 minutes to run around the store and do all that stuff, man. Yep. And when that comment came up, that's what I thought about. That would be like a literally shopping spree at a comic shop. Fill up your basket or whatever it is.
For sure.
And I've always wanted to do that. I never had the opportunity.
Yeah.
And Toys R Us closed down, so that didn't happen either.
So let me ask you this question. Right?
Sometimes I'd pretend.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to ask?
No.
But seriously, I'd go there because it was like right down the street.
Right,
and I'd just fill up a cart full of stuff and then leave. I was like 8 years old.
That's great.
It was just, it was just right down the street from when we moved into the Portland area. And so I'd go there and I'd grab a cart and I just, whatever I could grab, I'd fill up that cart. And I'd even run a little bit. Like I was timing myself.
That's awesome.
It was good times.
Bueller's equivalent of going to the window and smelling the bread.
That's right.
That's awesome stuff. No, my question was, so we have a lot of different comic shops here in Portland, right? And we have been through like a lot of them, and we know whose back issue bins are better than others.
Sure.
So which comic shop out here in Portland would you go to raid their back issue bins if you had $2,500?
Honestly, and I don't mind saying this, even though I don't get along with the gentleman, his comic shop is really good. The Comic Adventure. Me and the owner don't see eye to eye, and I don't shop there anymore. But as far as comic shop in general, where I would go to buy books for back issues, I'd go there.
Yeah,
I wouldn't think twice about it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I always feel his back issue bins.
Yeah.
They don't get changed over a lot, so
Yeah.
I'm always looking through the same stuff.
Well, I haven't been there in like a year, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd go to Excalibur.
Yeah.
Because they have a huge back issue bins, and if I had $2,500, I think I'd have a great time in there.
I'd only go there on the 50% off days.
Yeah, I know
Because
you would.
They're a little bit spendy.
Yeah, they are.
And the owner at Comic Adventure, Bruce, his price is a little bit better.
That I'll agree with 100%. 100%. Good stuff.
Yep.
You got the next one.
I do. Let's see. This is from Punk Rock Girl 2323. Said, I would do one of two things. Either get all my remaining Scotty Young variants I'm missing, or skip into my LCS Dreadnought comics, lay the cash on front of the counter, and have a blast buying some amazing books. Would you fill a run of a creator? Would that be something you'd want to do?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are a couple of different artists and creators that I'm actually doing that with. Of course, I want everything that Shannon Mayer's ever done. Have
you found a comprehensive list of the stuff he's done?
No, I've been making my own list. I haven't found a comprehensive list, but I've gone back to the beginning of what he's done. I mean, there's quite a few that I don't have. I thought I had a good portion of them, and I'm still missing a lot. So I'm having fun, going through those and looking for them. And so, that is something that I would definitely do is create a run just of creators.
Yeah, I mean, mine would probably just be Rob Liefeld and Tom McFarlane.
Right,
Those would be the main two I'd want to get.
Yeah.
Obviously, one's more expensive than the other.
Sure.
The Rob Liefeld stuff is in the nickel bins.
Very easy.
I'm just kidding, Rob Liefeld. Love you, buddy.
Did you see that picture I posted on Instagram? It was a coat with nothing but
pouches.
pouches.
With the pouches. That's pretty cool.
I thought, anyway.
Yeah. You're gonna get in trouble too.
I am.
Blocked. But no, seriously, Rob Liefeld would be one.
Yeah.
Todd McFarlane would be another. I've actually always wanted to get Todd McFarlane's collection. And I think probably over the years, if I were to, besides Spawns, if I were to think about, I probably had almost every McFarlane book, just not at one time. The only one that's kind of eluded me for some reason is that Hulk 340.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Wolverine.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know. There's no good reason why I've never had that book.
Interesting.
I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, those are the two.
Right on. You'll get it.
Yeah, whatever. All right, I got the next one as well. The next one is from ProfHolt82. Says, I'd use the $2,500 for an older key that's on my want list. Something like ASM number 129 or Giant Size X-Men number 1. I realize that new books often go for big money like that, but I wonder if they hold their value over time. Better to go with a tried and true classic whose value has stood the test of time. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Because you already know they hold their value. They've held their value for 20, 30 years. And I think they always will. I mean, you don't hear of like titles going down in price, when they're that classic of a book, like the ones you mentioned, the ASM 129, First Punisher, Giant Size X-Men number 1, they just don't go down in price.
They don't.
And they're so spendy right now that even if they were to go down just a little bit, they're still worth a lot of money. A lot of money, thousands and thousands of dollars. To where the more modern titles, besides maybe a couple, they're for the most part failure of the month.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a handful of ones that will probably go up in value, but in the scope of all the books that are out there, it's a very low percentage. And for the most part, it's whatever's hot that month, what people are talking about during that time frame. For a while, Star Wars is going to be hot. Star Wars will fade a little bit. Something else will pop up. Something else will pop up. And it kind of goes like that,
Yeah. It's going to be a while before we see some of these newer books become blue chip books. Very hot for a couple of years there was New Mutants number 98.
Oh yeah.
And that fluctuates in price.
Yeah.
Of course, that I believe that'll stand the test of time. But when you see the fluctuation in price the way that it is on that book,
sure.
that is not one that you would consider, an ASM, 129, where the value just keeps going up every year.
Yeah.
Maybe not a lot, but it always holds its value and goes up.
Yeah.
And
that's a huge character. I mean, Deadpool is as far as like a name brand character, it's probably in the top 5 from as far as a generational type thing.
Right.
Because for a newer generation, people know who Deadpool is. For one, it's easy to say that one time Deadpool was probably Marvel's most popular character.
Absolutely. When he first came out, almost.
Yeah. Well, definitely. I mean, even past that.
Yeah.
Because I never really enjoyed the character. Really, I was getting out of it when he kind of came in, so I really didn't pay attention. But all I heard was Deadpool. I was like, who's Deadpool? I didn't even know who it was until I saw the movie.
Really?
Well, to be totally honest, I missed that whole part of collecting when I never bought any Deadpool books before at all. Mm-hmm. Besides, one or what was that, 87 or whatnot?
89
or
98.
98. There you go. Besides that one, I didn't have any of the other ones that had him in there. Maybe one of the X-Force titles, number 2 or something like that. But I'd never bought a Deadpool book before.
Interesting.
So some things you just missed totally out.
Yeah.
Venom was another one. Venom was another. Besides the one run in ASM from Fawn, never had any Venom books.
Interesting.
Just
interesting. Did not know that. That's interesting.
Well, now you know.
So when did you get into Venom?
I don't know. Yesterday.
Was it when the movie came out, when the Cates book started coming out? I mean, when did
the Cates ones are the only ones I've ever read.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
I mean, you think about it, and the thing about I've been collecting now for 3 years. Okay, everything before that, for 20 years, I didn't buy anything.
Yeah.
So all that 20-year gap, there's nothing there. Whatever came out in those 20 years, it's all stuff I have to either go back and read, or just go find out on my own.
I have a bunch of stuff like that, that whole period that I was out of comics, and I'm still going back and finding stuff I never knew about, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But some of it just surprises the heck out of other people too when I talk about it. So
I just pretend like I know stuff.
I love it.
There you go.
You fake it till you make it.
You got it. All right, I got the next one here. This is from Trade Paper Dad. Says, if I had to spend $2,500 on one book, it would be the original X-Men #1. According to recent sales, $2,500 would buy a nice 1.0 copy. There you go. I bought the facsimile X-Men #1 for $4. And I'm happy with the additional $2,496 in my pocket. Great question. I have a great day. There you go. I mean, he's cheating a little bit.
Yeah.
But, that's another great book to have. Yeah. I mean, even a 1.0. I mean, that's a graded one. You could probably get it one in a little bit better condition that's not graded. Mm-hmm. Kind of take your luck on that, because all the books that I would buy wouldn't be graded. Well, I take that back. There is one that was actually graded. I was like, might as well just get that one. But you get a little bit better copy and kind of, press your luck, and get it cleaned or whatever you do to make it look a little better.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there are some books out there that, a 0.5 is about all I'll ever be able to buy just because of how expensive they are, unless I really, really pressed in my collecting, which I don't think I'm apt to do.
Yeah.
But I would try to buy the one that presented the best because that's about the best I want to do.
Yeah.
But I fully understand that.
Yeah, I don't mind a 1.
Yeah.
Get 10 ones at the 10.
That's right.
I've had 10 ones.
Have you? There you go.
Gross. All right, Bob, you're up next, my friend.
All right, the next one comes from Two Tacos. He says, I would spend for one high mid-grade silver or golden age 8.5, $1,500 worth. Not a key issue, but just something really cool. Use $500 for variants and key modern day issues, and the last $500 I would buy you guys all chalupas and tacos, of course.
Keep on going,
you
man.
can handle, and your favorite coffee beverage and desserts for a week at Mocha Express, and what's left over would be a tip for Mocha Express. Congrats on your 3-year anniversary. Job well done. Keep on vlogging.
There you go, man. That last $500 is all for us.
That sounds good. Hey, cool. Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. And we're speaking of, we are going to be eating chalupas on Tuesday night for the preview video. Taco Bell wasn't even open last Tuesday to do it because they still didn't have any power. But you have to be joining me. You're eating a couple chalupas.
Okay.
I got to eat 4 of them. This
great.
chalupa thing is really kind of biting me in the ass, to be totally honest. It's, for one, chalupas are not cheap.
I can't sit there and be quiet while you're eating chalupa, so I'm going to have to read something while that's going on. Well, we'll see what happens.
They're like $4 a chalupa, you know.
That's
so
true.
It's getting me. But anyway, buying a mid-grade silver or golden age book. I don't even think I have a golden age book in my collection.
I don't either.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been tremendously interested in books that came out before my time.
Yeah.
I just kind of like the ones I remember seeing on the shelf when I was a kid.
Yeah, I think the only golden age books I'd be interested in are some of those original Cat books. Yeah. Right? Or maybe some Batman books. But even those, the way they were written back then, not my style. Yeah. You know? But some of those original Cat books, I'd be way interested in.
Yeah. Well, that'd be kind of cool. They're definitely worth it. I think I saw someone had some war books. And I think it was Jeff, the Golden Age guru. Mm-hmm. He got a bunch of old war books. And he got them from grade, and they were just like 9s and 8.5s and 9.2s, and these things are like 60 years old, man. They're just awesome looking. So
great stuff.
Very cool. All right, you got the next one also.
All right, next one comes from Brandon Koss. He says, my LCS has a pretty awesome selection of 25-cent back issues. With $2,500, I could walk out of there with 10,000 comics. I probably feel pretty generous. Then I could ship Bueller a box of all the Liefeld books he ever wanted.
See? He knows. I can fill my Liefeld collection, man.
There you go.
How much would you spend a lot on like quarter books or 50-cent books?
No.
You take that money and buy a big
I don't
books?
have room.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm at a place now.
You also don't have $2,500 to spend on comic books today, do you?
This is
make believe.
Well, even in the make believe world, I still would do that.
Would your lady let you? If you went to your lady and said, "Hey, I got $2,500. I want to go spend only comic books," which is like, yeah, that's a great idea.
No, she wouldn't say that. The first thing that would come out of her mouth is, "Okay, then where are we going to put them?"
Really?
That's the first thing she says. She supports me in my collecting.
All right, well, that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. Although, you know,
I've seen some of the books you buy.
But this is make believe, so I'm getting it for free, right?
There you go. Yeah, you can store it in my place.
Even better than I don't have to say a word.
Yeah. It'd be nice. I mean, you could buy a whole collection.
Yeah, you start a store that way.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times, I know a lot of shops will sell you a long box for a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
You know, $100 for a long box, or even less sometimes. Other 50-cent books, like I Like Comics, they always have sales $100 for a long box or something like that. You know, you could fit, and they're not bagged and boarded. You can fit like $400 into a long box. You know, and if you cram them, you can fit 440. I haven't done the math.
Right. There you go, folks. That's how the Bueller boxes were born.
That's exactly how they were born, man. A custom long box, extra 2 inches longer than the regular ones. Where'd that come from? I don't know. But anyway, you can buy a lot, man. It'd be kind of nice. You never know.
Come on.
All right, I got the next one here. This is from NJ. It says, if someone handed me $2,500 cash and said I have to spend it on comics, I would take it to a show, Comic-Con I'm presuming. Let's pretend shows are back, so yeah, Comic-Con. And then just walk around finding cool comics I'd like to have and spreading the money around. No real plan, but I'm sure I'd focus on classics, Amazing Spider-Man, Batman, UXM, Ultimate X-Men, or Uncanny X-Men, sorry. Some graded, some raw, some $100 plus, some dollar bins. Just have fun with it and see what I'm able to find. So if you had $2,500 at a Comic-Con, let me ask you this. When you go to a Comic-Con, do you have a limit with the money that you take there?
Usually for cons, I'll save up. and because I can go crazy.
Sure.
I can go way crazy.
Yeah.
So usually I'll save up, and I know about what I'm going to spend.
Yeah.
So I think the most that I've ever spent was at the Washington State SummerCon.
Sure.
And I took with me $1,000.
Yeah.
And so.
Now, when you took that $1,000, a lot of money was going towards buying signatures and stuff like that.
Signatures.
Do you have a difference between just buying books for the money put aside for just to buy books? I want to buy these books, because you're spending a lot of money on some other stuff as well.
True, but I mean, to me, it's all the same because I mean.
So let's take Frankenstein. Mm-hmm. Frankenstein's a perfect example because when I go to Frankenstein, it's just Frankenstein's a local thing that we haven't had for a year.
Yeah,
but it's just books. It's just a swap meet of books to show thousands of books, like 50 or 60 different vendors.
Yeah.
I usually take around $400 to $500.
Really?
At that show.
See, you take more than me.
Really?
Right. 'Cause when I go to Frankenstein, I take $125
okay.
because I know that I'll go crazy on things that I shouldn't. Because I'm either going to buy a lot of smaller books, like I'll try to find small runs, right? Either of like miniseries I didn't get, like I think I got a couple of the Ed Brubaker series, full series.
Sure.
Last time I was there, or I'm going to buy 4 or 5. Higher Silver Age books.
Yeah.
Right. And I try not to go too much over that because then I'm going way over my budget for the month on comics, and I don't want to do that. So I usually try to limit myself to about $125, $150 for Frankenstein.
Yeah, I do quite a bit more. That's actually the place I go to buy when I was doing Bueller boxes.
Yeah.
That's what it was for.
Sure, but I mean, you're investing, right?
Yeah, I'm investing to sell those books. It's
exactly.
I think the last time I went there, I spent just about that much. I didn't keep anything.
Yeah.
Everything I bought, maybe I kept 1 or 2 titles, but everything I bought for the most part just went right back out.
Yeah. You just hit me in the nostalgia heart, man. I want Frankenstein to be back
man,
bad.
It's great. Here's the thing, man. All those guys are just sitting on books.
I know.
For the last year, maybe
that
they've
first
been
one's going to be great.
Oh, it's going to be massive, and they're just going to dump everything.
Yeah,
it's only like a 1-day event.
Yeah,
if it does come back. So
yeah,
but we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Bring your own beer.
There you go. I got the next one from Eddie Runner. He says, first of all, just want to say I truly appreciate that you and Bob have been giving so many people a chance to voice their opinion on your great show. Thank you very much, Eddie.
Thank you.
If I had that much money that the wife would let me spend on comics, that's awesome, I would no doubt go to a used bookstore, book off, and buy as many trades and dollar bin comics as I could hold. Also, I'd save the money to pay for my pull list for a few weeks. I had a lot of people say that they would buy omnibus. I don't know how to say that. Is that the plural now? I don't know. Whatever it is.
Yeah, the plural or single, they're both the same word.
Yeah, but a lot of people said they'd buy like big trades and that omnibus stuff and just get the whole collections like that. And I thought that was pretty cool because that didn't even think about it for me, to be honest.
Yeah. My thing is, so me personally, I wouldn't go that route because whenever I've gone and bought a bunch of trades or a bunch of omnibus, I don't read them all at once, right?
Yeah.
I'll read a few of them and then they'll sit on my shelf for a long time and then I just wasted money because I never actually went back and read them.
Yeah.
And now with, apps like, the Marvel Unlimited, I can get most of what I'm going to buy in that omnibus
That's
there
true.
digitally, And so for me personally, I wouldn't go that route. But it is an economic way to buy a lot of these full runs or collections. So I'm not dinging it at all. It's just I wouldn't do it because I know my reading habits.
Yeah.
But that is a really good way to go.
I saw that Jim was selling a bunch of I don't know a bunch, but he was selling a few of his omnibus or stuff on his stuff, and they're going for quite a bit of money. I was surprised. I mean, I don't know the market for that, so it's really, your guess is as good as mine. But, there's a couple $100 for one of them or something like that. So I think they have certain print runs, first and second prints and stuff like that. But
they do.
There's not really too much of a difference between them, to be honest.
Right, exactly. And some of them, they're only in print for a certain time, only in that format. They go out of print, and so they go up in value just like anything else will. But, I mean, even if you watch Jem's channel and you looked at, he did a video looking at all of his omnibus, and he did a rundown of all the ones that he's read and all the ones that he haven't.
Yeah.
And more than half he hasn't read.
Sure.
And that's the way I would be. And if it's just going to sit there, to me, it would be a waste.
Isn't all omnibus reprints?
They basically are, yeah.
Every omnibus is a reprint of the original thing.
It is.
So even the first print omnibus is a reprint of comic books.
It is. But sometimes it's like the wheels are turning. There it goes.
Interesting.
Oh man. Yeah, but you're paying for that hardcover,
Sure.
that nice forward by whoever 2-bit artist they got to come back in. And,
2-bit?
Yeah, 2-bit. The guy that's down on his luck, but they're going to bring in because he was a name at one time.
Yeah.
So they'll do have them do a forward, and then they'll put a little bit of artwork in the back to make it worth your while. So
Sure.
you spend a couple $100 on something you could get for 50 cents.
There you go. All right. All right, I got the last one here.
Sure, go ahead.
This is from Dale's Journey. It says, I would use the money to start my comic book collection. I have not started yet and would love to.
Oh man.
Dale, thank you for watching.
Absolutely.
For one, hasn't started his collection yet. And if you had $2,500 to start your collection, that's more than pretty much everyone else started with.
This is true.
I started with about a nickel.
Right?
or $2, my allowance. But to start off with $2,500, you could start off with a pretty damn nice first day collection stuff. But I just want to say, Dale, thank you for leaving that comment, and thank you for finding our channel.
Absolutely.
Because like I said, he's just now starting his collection.
So Dale, I got a challenge for you. Just take $4.
There you go.
$4 and look at the comics that are out there. Find something you like, buy it, read it, and then come back and leave a comment and let us know what you thought about it.
Yeah. Or
we'd love to hear that.
Take the $4, go buy yourself a Spawn book. Take that extra $1 and buy a lottery ticket.
Or a chalupa.
Or a chalupa.
Well, you can't buy a chalupa for $1.
Buy something else.
Yeah, there you go. That's good.
Or buy 250 centers. I don't know. Or buy a True Believers book, something like that.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Definitely.
Actually, the good thing to do if you're just now collecting, this would be a great start. If you just had, say, $10.
Mm-hmm.
Image just put out their Image Verse new round of like 10 different books because Image is just killing it right now.
Yeah, they are.
And they just released, they're all $1 books. I think I showed them on my preview video or whatnot. But Bitter Root, Undiscovered Country, Die, all those books are only $1 now. You can get them on there and stuff. That'd be an awesome way to start because they're all just like tremendous books.
Yeah, it gives you a good mix of stuff to read and see what you like.
There you go. So there you go. That's all our comments that we had. But I want to tell you guys what I would get for my $2,500. Well, I actually did the math here. Okay, I went and looked, did a little bit of research, so I kind of, knew what I was talking about sometimes. First one, Giant Size X-Men #1, low grade, $900. I found one for $900. It was beat the hell, perfect. Next one would be Hulk 340. That's the one I missed out. This is a graded one at 8.0. Mm-hmm. I love 8s. 8s are fine for me.
There you go.
That's $90. Perfect. Love to have that one. The next three would be Iron Man #1. Been looking for that one.
Of course.
Low grade copy, $300. Next one would be Iron Man 55, First Appearance of Thanos. Low grade copy of that, $275.
There you go.
Next one, Iron Man #128. That's the conclusion of the Demon in the Bottle. Mid grade of that, $35. So right there is $1,600. So I got $900 left, and that $900 is going to 50-cent bins.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
There you go.
That's amazing.
That's what I would do. That's be my $2,500.
Yeah, I know exactly what I would do, bro.
You'd buy that one.
Which one?
You'd buy the first appearance of Dr. Doom.
That's exactly right.
Hey!
I would buy a graded 1.5.
1.5. You looked it up?
For I think a 1.5 you can get for around $2,300.
Yeah.
And then the other $200, I'd probably find a $200 book and I'd go for that. But
$200 worth of 50 centers.
I could, but I don't
have any room.
I don't want that.
You know what else I'd buy? I actually thought about this as well. I would probably take that money and invest it in an exclusive.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and then because that would be a nice little chunk of change to go get a nice exclusive done.
For sure.
And I could sell those and make the $2,500 back.
Man, I hope that we get to see the day that you get an exclusive done by Rob Liefeld.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
One can dream, right?
I got a better chance of getting Jack Kirby to make an exclusive.
Hey, Jack!
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Anyway, so that's our topic. A lot of really cool stuff, but let's go ahead and switch gears, and we'll go to Robbie's Pick of the Week.
Hey everybody, I'm Rockin' Robbie Billups from Pop Culture Philosophers. You're checking out the all-new Coffee and Comic Show here on Comics with Bueller, hosted by Bueller and Bob, two of the most stand-up, righteous dudes out there in YouTube. This is a Toxie from Toxic Crusaders, one of my most prized toy collections, but my pick of the week is...
Picture of Everything Else, #2 by Vault Comics. And I got to tell you, I know it's Robbie's pick of the week, but this is damn near a masterpiece.
Why?
Dan Waters' writing inside of this, his use of just the language and how poetic it is, amazing. And the layout of the book, the way Aditya Bidikar is doing the lettering inside of it, it's whimsical, it's creepy, it's got a historical feel to it. It kind of plays out kind of the way the format of Bram Stoker's Dracula plays out, where you get some narrative, you get some letters, and you get some conversation. But when you put it all together, the way it's being written, it's amazing.
Well, there you go. Well, I didn't read it, so I don't know. I have the first one. I actually got the first one like a few weeks after it came out, and I got the variant one, which is kind of cool because I thought the cover looked pretty good. It's the same price as the regular cover. But I read the first one. I liked it, you know, but it's been a while. It seems like this book took some time to come out with issue number 2.
Felt like it anyway.
Yeah, a few months. So I kind of think I have to go back and read number 1 again, and then I'll read this one when I get it. Like I said, I still haven't picked up my books yet, so I don't have them, but I think that's on my pull list. But yeah, from what I understand, this has been a great series, and you know, if Robbie's picking it, you know, I've got to get hats off. And you said what, a masterpiece?
Yeah, it's damn near a masterpiece.
There you go. What more could you want, right?
I'm telling you.
All right. Well, I'm not going to argue with these guys. Do me a favor, go check out Robbie's channel, Pop Culture Philosophers, one of our favorite channels. We talk about it all the time. He does reviews on comic books, and he does a bunch of other stuff. We're on there every now and then. A lot of good times.
It's good stuff.
Yep. Let's go ahead and go to our final 5, brought to you by Comic Pro Line.
Yeah.
We forgot to do that. We got this a little reversed. But you were up first.
Yeah, so why don't you go first this time?
Want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go first. I wanted to keep my book up there.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so first one up here is Wonder Man number 1. Look at that.
Nice.
Wonder Man. That's the one where he has a little cool jacket on.
Yeah.
I like that one better.
You think we're going to get any bit of Wonder Man inside this WandaVision thing?
Well, these first couple books have a little theme to it. Here's Mephisto versus Fantastic Four number 1. So this is the WandaVision spec books or whatever you want to call it. Maybe Plastic Man's in it. I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows?
Maybe. Logan's Run number 1. That's kind of cool. And last one is Thor number 198. So that is my final 5.
Very cool. I remember getting that Logan's Run book.
Yeah.
That's complete nostalgia.
Have you watched that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize there was so much boobs in there.
It's been a while, but yeah, there is.
Yeah. Wonderful.
All right. So here's my final 5, and these are books that have come out recently. I just picked up 5 random. Here's Venom number 27.
Nice.
And then I got Deceased Planet number 2. I really hope we get another Deceased series. This is the Juggernaut number 1. This is one of the exclusive variants. We got Lock and Key, Impale Battalions Go number 2. And then we got a shiny cover to end it all up. We got Dark Knight's Death Metal number 4. And there's my final 5.
There you go. Very nice shiny cover.
Like that.
I have 2 of those.
Do you?
Yeah.
Because it's shiny.
Yeah. Well, I just the other one showed up here. I don't know. Anyway, those are our final 5 brought to you by Comic Pro Line. Sorry we did that a little bit out of order, but let's get back on track because now we're on to our fan favorite segment. Was it good?
Was it good?
And you know what? We'll set those down.
All right.
And Bob, since you actually have your books here, I'm going to get the pleasure to do this first. Bob, you were up with Devil's Red Bride number 5 by Vault Comics. Bob, was it good?
It was good. It was good. This is a fitting end to the whole story. We find out, everything that happened in the very beginning. We get the full round out story as to what actually happened, and I really enjoyed it. And I really hope that we get another series going forward because I loved it.
You like the samurai stuff.
I love the samurai thing. I really do.
Did you like that Shino Cage or whatever it's called?
Yeah, that was actually really good.
Shino Kaji?
Shino Kage.
Whatever.
No, it was really good. There's some elements there that I think that they can build on.
Yeah.
I just hope that they keep going in the same direction that the first issue was going because I'm on for the ride.
There you go. All right. So next one we have is The Last Witch number 2. Pretty sure that's a kid's book. Bob, was it good?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
The number 1 I couldn't have cared less about. It was pretty much the same type of stuff we've read before.
Yeah.
Familiar footing. And I actually wasn't going to get number 2. saw Robbie's review,
Sure.
his new comic reviews, and I thought, okay, I'll give it a shot. So when I went to pick up my books, I picked it up, and man, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. So I'm on board with it. So it's now back on my pull list.
Well, there you go. All right, last one for Bob. This is Daredevil number 27. And I already know the answer to this. But Bob, was it good?
Yes. No, it was really good. I really feel for the writer, Chip Zdarsky, because you have to basically pull in this whole tie-in event while you're trying to tell your own narrative.
Yeah.
And I think he did it great. I love the stuff that they did with Matt and how they engaged his faith to fight off, the King in Black inside of this. I thought that was amazing. We get a little bit of Elektra being Daredevil, and she's got the wires and everything coming, which I thought was great. And and then her mindset is trying to be as close to what Matt was instead of her own thing. I just love the way he's telling that story. So, with King in Black aside, which is an okay tie-in piece of it, but I really think he's kept on par with what he's trying to tell, so that when the event is over with, he can just keep right on going with it. So I liked it.
I read that one too. That's the one. I thought this was actually a pretty good tie-in for King in Black, and the way Daredevil was able to, like you said, fend off Null and stuff, just like overpower him, which is kind of interesting when you think about it. It's like if Daredevil could do it, there's some light at the end of the tunnel or whatnot,
Hey, man.
So I thought they did a pretty good job with it. I was a little surprised. I'm not really paying too much attention to the other tie-ins, but this one, even though it doesn't really affect the story of the King of Black, it was done pretty well.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Good deal.
All right, well, I don't have any of my books, but he's going to ask because he's got my list.
I do. All right, so the first one on the list is The Recount number 2. Is that one's done by Image?
That's Scout.
Scout Comics. There we go. So The Recount number 2 by Scout Comics. Bueller.
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was great.
Was it?
Oh, it's awesome.
Now, this is one that you said is one of your favorite books right now.
It is one of my favorites. There's only 2 issues in. Like I said, you can go get that exclusive at Kingdom of Comics. I'll leave the link down below. It's the Heat homage cover. But I read it, and you can actually get it also at scoutcomics.com or whatnot, and Code Bueller works on there as well. But this one is, the premise of the thing is there's a group that the president is elected or whatnot, and he gets assassinated, and there's a group of people that are going to assassinate everyone who's associated with him, up to including people that just voted for him, the people at the electoral college, or just a random voter. They're literally out to eliminate anyone who had anything to do with support of this guy whatsoever. And it's brutal because it's like, it's not just like a small group of people. It's like deep within the government. It's like whole bunch of people, and people inside the government, like the Secret Service people, are part of it and stuff like that. You don't know who's on what side and stuff. Like they had in this issue, like they had already eliminated like 37 of the electoral college people or whatnot. And it's kind of crazy, And I talked to the writer of this, and he's not. It's not a political statement he's trying to make. And I talked about this book a little bit on my top 10 list, and somebody said, "Oh, yeah, you believe what you're told or whatnot." And he said to me, because I said on there, it's like he didn't do this to be a political statement. Now, I didn't just have a small conversation with him and just say, "Hey, is this political?" And he said, "No." I talked to him for like a half hour and asked him about this book. So what I stated on my top 10 video, that's just a small clip of what I actually talked to this gentleman about, the writer of this book. And it's not political. It doesn't have anything to do with our president, or Donald Trump or whatnot. It doesn't have anything to do with that whatsoever. Okay. There's political books that you can make political that doesn't have to be political. Air Force One with Harrison Ford does not represent Bill Clinton or Ronald Reagan. It doesn't have anything to do with them. Okay. It's just a movie about a president. This is a book about a president, but it doesn't have anything to do with what's going on right now. And it was good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome. It was about 2 months between the first issue that came out in December. So I was like, where is this book? I've been waiting for it. So definitely worth the wait.
Interesting. I'm going to have to put it on my pull list.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, so the next one on your list here was Scout's Honor number 2 by Image Comics. Is that by Image? Yeah, isn't it?
No, that's by Aftershock.
Aftershock. There we go. Scout's Honor number 2 by Aftershock.
Yeah.
Bueller. Was it good?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I read the first one. I was a little on the fence about it. I mean, it was good, and I was like, I don't know if I was going to pick it up. And the writer sent me a preview copy of number 2, so I read it, and I actually made it enjoy number 1 better. And a lot of times that will happen. Like, you'll read number 1, and like, oh, okay, whatever. And then number 2 gets a little bit more deep, and you kind of see where they're going. And that's what number 2 did. It kind of went more into the main character, kind of exposed her for, because she's part of the Scouts thing, but she's pretending to be a boy. And we're spoiling these, because these are a couple weeks old, so I really don't care right now. But, like, her father gets killed in the end, and she's like, she doesn't know if she wants to be a scout, like this
Eagle Scout,
the major person who like go out and hunt and kill people. But after her father's death, she's like, yeah, I want to do this. And there's like a conspiracy theory between how these scouts came aboard and what happened and stuff and what they're based on. So it's a pretty good story. I think it's probably a 5-issue series, so I'm gonna stick on it now. And like I said, number 2 made me enjoy number 1 better, and so that's why I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that. Number 2, maybe enjoy number 1 better.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the end of the story, when she makes the decision to go into the Eagle Scout testing, now I'm really intrigued to see what happens next.
Yeah.
So, good stuff. All right, so your last one on here is Wolverine, Black, White, and... Is it Blood?
Yeah.
Okay, Black, White, and Blood, number 3, by Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
Bueller. Was it good?
Well, here's the thing. This book is 3 stories, okay? Mm-hmm. One of them is written by Donny Cates. And the one that was written by Donny Cates, I didn't like the artwork, but I thought the story was pretty good. And it's just pretty much Wolverine hanging out at the bar with the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're just sitting there.
Having a conversation?
Yeah, having a conversation. And then like they get in a bar fight and stuff like that. And it's just kind of funny, you know? And I enjoyed it, but I didn't like the artwork. It was too busy. It just wasn't my thing. The other 2 stories were okay, but I liked the artwork a lot. So this book is kind of a mixed bag, okay? All in all, I think it's a pretty cool series. You know, I like the format, the whole, it's in black and white with the red and stuff like that. And but definitely, like I said, the Donny Cates story is the better one. The other 2 are okay, but the artwork is better. If they would have switched it, put that artwork with the Donny Cates story, perfect.
Interesting. Yeah, that's one that I haven't picked up. And
you do have a couple of them, I think.
I do have a couple of them.
Yeah, because I got you the variants.
Absolutely.
People gave us the variants, so that was pretty cool.
But I haven't read any of them yet, just to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm still behind in a lot of my reading.
Yeah, we all are. So, speaking of reading, what are you going to be reading next week?
Sure. So, next week on the list, I have Ice Cream Man number 23. Looking forward to that one.
Yep.
And then Two Moons number 1 looks really interesting.
There you go.
And then the last one is, I'm realizing these are all Image books.
Yeah.
Department of Truth number 6.
Okay. Now I want to say, I'm a full disclaimer here that people watch. Okay. I've read a few of those books. So I'm not spoiling nothing by saying this, but Department of Truth has a different artist. And let me just say, I hope it's a guest artist, to be totally honest. I hope it's just a one-time thing. And then the Ice Cream Man is unlike anything you've read before.
Okay.
Just the way that they've done it. And I kind of showed Bob, he kind of knows what I'm talking about. But the Ice Cream Man is a different read, and it'll be strange. So be interesting to see what your take is on those.
Sure.
And what your guys' take is on those as well. For me, I'm going to be reading Spawn number 315.
Nice.
One of my favorites. Nuclear Family number 1 by Aftershock.
I'm interested in that one as well.
That reminds me of Fallout for some reason.
Yeah.
And then Something is Killing the Children number 15, which I've already read.
That's right.
And I can't really say nothing.
All right.
But it is the one, it's the ending of the story arc. And then the number 16 comes out in a few months, and that's like her origin story or something like that. Yeah, she's going back like a little kid or something.
Sweet.
And so that's what they're telling. At least that's what I heard. So, but anyway, that is Was It Good segment. That's brought to you by, we'll just say Scout Comics.
All right.
Maybe they want it back last time. I never got a chance to read that Casual Fling book.
Oh, you didn't?
No, they ordered it for me. It's sitting in my box, but you know, Casual Flings are usually just sitting in the box somewhere.
Usually they are somewhere.
There you go. I'll pick it up next week. Maybe I'll review that one as well.
There you go.
But anyway, let's move on to our last part, our random thoughts.
Yeah.
And with Bob and Bueller.
With Bob and Bueller.
That's us two. You're the top of the board for that one, Bob and Bueller.
Really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
First name on the list.
First billing. All right.
Yeah, first billing.
Dig it, man.
Very last segment. But let's talk about WandaVision.
Yeah.
Because the last time you were here, you hadn't seen the new episode. So there's literally been 3 episodes since that point, okay, that we can get caught up on. And the episode I'm talking about where you didn't see where it was the X-Men guy.
Right. It was
playing
Quicksilver, right.
Okay. You hadn't seen that episode yet.
No.
So we had to skirt around that.
Yeah.
So a lot has happened since then.
Yeah.
So what is your initial thoughts here 3 episodes later?
Well, so first let's talk about that reveal.
Okay.
When that came up, I was both surprised
Yeah.
and horrified.
Yeah.
Right? Because, number one, I thought it was a great surprise. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
Right? So it was cool. But there's probably a lot of people who, want this to happen. I don't. As soon as I saw dude on screen, the first thing I thought is, please do not be bringing all those characters over from Fox to play the X-Men in the new roles coming over.
Well, that's the thing is
They screwed up.
He's the only one that played. It was on both. Quicksilver is the only character that's on both.
It was on both. I know.
Marvel Universe and the X-Men Universe.
Exactly.
It's the only one they
And
can
not
really
the
get
same.
away with.
Not the same though.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Yeah.
Wolverine wasn't in the Marvel Universe.
No.
He was only in the X-Men. But the
Exactly.
Quicksilver character
True.
is the only character
Was in both.
that was in both. That's really the only one that they can pull it off.
True. But I was horrified because it's like, if they bring those characters over, I mean, they failed with that X-Men
You think so?
franchise. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a couple of good movies. I'm not going to, I love them, but for the most part, I think they failed with that franchise.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to bring those characters over, I do not want that.
Yeah.
Do not want it.
You don't want the X-Men in the Marvel Universe?
I do want the X-Men in the Marvel. I just don't want those X-Men in the Marvel universe. Maybe a couple of them. I'd love Fassbender as Magneto, right? I mean,
So you're blaming it on the actors?
I'm not blaming it on the actors.
A little bit.
I want new actors.
Okay.
I want a fresh X-Men team. I want a fresh Wolverine. I just want it to be its own thing, and I don't want it to even. I just don't want it.
Sure.
So there's that.
Okay.
And then beyond that, the episode that was in between the last one and this one, really not much happened there. I mean, we had the whole thing with Vision going out of the, out of the barrier.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a kind of a cool thing that happened there.
Yeah.
But this last episode, it confirmed everything that I knew was going to be coming. We got Agatha Harkness.
Yeah.
Which I absolutely loved. I still don't think that she's the big bad.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get a reveal. Everybody keeps saying, Mephisto. A lot of people, have talked about. I can't think of the other dude's name. Anyway.
Nightmare?
I think it may be Nightmare. Right. We'll see.
know.
Only reason why is because
Why can't it just be the Agatha? I think people are looking too much into it.
maybe
Yeah, because it is just a TV show.
it's true, but
You
it's
know,
supposed to tie to the movie.
Yeah, but
Right?
a lot of times the TV shows, they don't go full bore and put a big, huge villain on a TV show.
But that's the
they
point of
didn't-
these.
Yeah, but they didn't take the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever that was and put the big villains on there as far as the reveal. Mephisto is a pretty big character to put on a television. No, I don't know. I'm just putting that out there.
I mean, so I'm going to ask you this question. So, at the end of this thing, when Doctor Strange shows up, because I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. He's a big Marvel character. Do you think that would be tantamount to something of bringing Mephisto on there as well?
I think it won't be surprising to see a character we already know, to be honest. But I think that I really don't know. When I look at it, I'm like, why can't it just be the Agatha lady? Why can't it just be her? Why can't it just be, the Scarlet Witch and just doing her thing?
Right.
I think we all want it to be more than what it is.
Of course. It's good to speculate on, though.
Yeah, and I figure because there's between. As far as a movie coming out, it would highlight that character. I mean, it's going to be a while.
Right.
Because if it's going to be Doctor Strange, okay, that's not coming out for a long time.
Right.
And so, I mean, if we get the reveal at the end of this, and here you got to wait a year for that to expand.
That's not unheard of. I mean, when they revealed Thanos, how long did we have to wait until we actually got him in a movie?
Yeah, but I don't know. But I mean, I think we're at a different point right now. I think we need to have something roll right into something else. I think
I would hope so.
Would make it a little bit better.
Here's the thing. Everybody's looking at Agatha Harkness or who maybe the big bad is, but what excites me more than anything is that we have a character now who is directly tied to the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Agatha Harkness was basically she used to take care of Franklin Richards.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if this may be a complete tie-in to the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Another big thing inside of this was Monica Rambeau.
Yeah.
Right, and seeing that her DNA has been rewritten now 3 times, and now she's got powers. Is this the way we get mutants? Is that whole city that they've been in there with their DNA rewritten that whole time when they lift this thing? Are we going to have mutants now? Is that how it's going to come about? I mean, there's speculation there to look at, right? I'm loving it.
I was thinking the other day, it'd be really easy to introduce a Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
That's just a spaceship ride away, and you get the Fantastic Four.
For sure.
Really, when you think about it, that's all it was. I mean, literally, the first Fantastic Four movie, not the one that never made it, but the very first one, how they introduced the Fantastic Four, how they got their powers.
Right.
You can literally just do the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And they could. That's good enough. Just make a different movie, but that's how they get their powers, and you're good to go. It's not like X-Men. It's not like the mutants where it's a mutant gene and it's over time it's developed and stuff like that. You can't just make that exist. And then you have a 50-year-old Wolverine.
Right.
Where have you been? Type thing. That doesn't
Right.
work. You can do it with Fantastic Four. It's where they're just regular people one day, and then the next day they have powers. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what they did. So that would be pretty easy to write them in. Now back to the Quicksilver guy. Okay. It's got to mean they wouldn't just do that. That'd be a crappy thing to do. For one, if they're just doing it just for a wink and a nod to the Marvel or the X-Men universe or whatnot, but those aren't actually going to be the people who play the character. Well, that guy just got a shitty role.
Just a cameo.
That guy, it's like, that actor, what I'm saying? It's like, here I'm playing Quicksilver again, but yet I'm not going to be the real Quicksilver.
Right.
But yet I was the real Quicksilver. So, I mean, I look at it as like that has to be something. There's something there that has to be a tie to the regular X-Men universe or how they bring that over. I don't know how that is, but it can't just be a wink to the audience. Like, hey, look at this. I mean, they did a wink to the Kick-Ass thing. Did you see that?
Yeah, yeah.
And like her kid said Kick-Ass, and I was like, Kick-Ass, and that, I mean, it's just, I thought that was pretty cool.
That was cool
because both the characters played Quicksilver in that movie. That's a wink to the fan right there.
It is.
Having him as a main character in this TV show, there's a little bit more to it than that.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Interesting. We got 2 more episodes left. It's probably nothing. This is probably Newhart all over again.
I know, huh?
She's been sleeping the whole time.
Love it.
Yeah. Okay, some other news. It's the Spawn. Todd McFarlane just announced that there's a new Spawn universe.
Right.
That he's going to be doing. And there's going to be a initial comic book that comes out, and then there's going to be the regular Spawn, and then 3 other books like Gunslinger Spawn, a couple other ones. I can't remember the titles and stuff, but it sounds like he's going to be involved in all of them. I don't think he's writing them all, but he's got like Donnie Cates on board, be helping him out. He's got a long list of people that are helping him out. Did you see the news on that?
I did. I watched his full announcement.
Yeah.
There's. I was excited about it, but at the same time horrified.
Yeah.
Because I can't buy everything. And I'm not going to buy 4 more dang books a month.
I will. For him, I would.
If they're $2.99, maybe.
$2.99. Yeah, that's the one thing I was curious about.
Yeah.
If they're $2.99, and if I don't know how long he's going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just like, I mean, he made it sound like, oh yeah, this is how it's going to be from now on. But honestly, I think it's, it'll go for a while.
Right.
And stuff. The audience will kind of determine it and stuff like that. But I think it's pretty cool. I'm surprised that it's taken this long to do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I would have expected him to do something like this a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I love how excited he is.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime he's excited, expect big things, from Todd McFarlane. And I think that, he's at a point where it's just like, I'm going to go crazy.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, exactly.
And so on that aspect, I'm way excited for it.
Yeah.
But another 4 books a month, that part I was kind of like, oh, I mean, don't do the Marvel thing, please.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I'm excited about it because, I mean, honestly, my Marvel titles are dropping. And my independent, I mean, if you want to call that an independent title, I don't really consider it that. But, actually, my DC titles have dropped. I mean, when I look at my DC titles, those are all dropped,
Well, you dropped the whole thing for Future State anyway, right?
Yeah, and really, I'm not really taking too much back up when the regular books start coming back out. Maybe one or two titles. That's about it. So I got to make it up somewhere, I guess.
Yeah.
And if they're $2.99, that'd be awesome. I don't think they will be.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, maybe, you never know, but
to me, it'll be interesting to see if he lets up on the reins, right? Because I mean, writing one story is one thing, but writing 4 different books a month or trying to keep track of how the story goes. I mean, being an editor, I guess you could do it.
Yeah.
But if he lets a little creative flow go to somebody else to write that part of the story, I'd be really excited about that.
Yeah, be interesting. One last piece of news is Department of Truth apparently got picked up for a television show.
Really?
Yeah, I think I just heard that. So it got an option. I don't know what network picked it up or whatnot, or I'm pretty sure it's a TV show. But if they do end up making that show, I'll make a pilot and see if it goes from there. That'll be a lot of fun.
I think it would be. I hope they stay true to the comic book.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because I could see them taking off and doing their own thing with it. But that's awesome.
Yeah. Not bad, man. That's a neat book.
Yeah, man. I mean, out of all the books out there, it's ripe for it.
Yeah, I think it's got the X-Files appeal to it.
Totally.
I think they could easily do that on a weekly basis, and I'm hoping that it's probably picked up by a streaming service or something.
I hope it's a streaming service.
Yeah, so that way we can get a more adult look at this, because I think it kind of needs it,
for
to
sure.
be totally honest, as compared to the regular networks that wouldn't kind of go there. So be a lot of fun. But anyway, that's our random thoughts. Anything else from you?
No, I mean, my channel's Everything Comics.
Oh, we're not there yet, Bob.
Oh, okay.
We're not there. I'm just talking about random thoughts.
No, random thoughts.
Any news? Anything you want to talk about?
No, nothing else going on right now. Just, I just got over a disaster, man.
There you go. Okay, well, that's our random thoughts. Bob doesn't have anything else.
I don't.
But, we did. But that brings up a point. Let's just talk about that for a little bit. So we were hit from a storm a couple weeks ago. You guys all know this. That's why we weren't able to do the video. Bob was out of power until yesterday.
Yeah. So, full week.
Yeah, full week. And went and stayed at a hotel and got massages and hot tubs and all that stuff.
I wish it was like that. It was rather depressing being in that room. Yeah. We had heat. We had, TV, we had, food to eat and electricity. And so for that, very grateful.
Yeah.
But we lost power at about 11 o'clock on Friday night. And by Sunday morning, the cold was just so unbearable because it was just ice everywhere. Yeah. My father-in-law is up there in age. He's in his 80s. And it wasn't safe for him to be in that cold. So we pulled the trigger and found a hotel room almost out of town.
Yeah.
We went to a Best Western, which was really nice. And pretty much day by day, we just waited to see if the power was on.
Yeah.
And when we found out that it wasn't, we just told them, we're going to stay here another day.
There you go.
And we didn't finally end up getting power until yesterday.
Yeah.
And just so happens we also got cable yesterday.
Oh, perfect.
But I mean, we pretty much got home and spent the rest of the day cleaning out the fridges and you had to go to the store to buy everything again. And I'm just grateful that it feels like it's ending.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a fun week, that's for sure.
We lost power here for about 2 days, on and off type thing, and for big chunks of time. And it was a weird storm because it wasn't like a lot of snow. What it was the ice, and the ice just blew up everything pretty much.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of snow in our area, and then like 4 or 5 inches of ice.
Yeah.
And all the trees came down. And if you know Oregon at all we are is trees. I mean, that's our number one export is trees. I mean, it's very common to have 200-foot trees in your yard in Oregon, okay? And when that's the case and there's ice on these things are crumbling down.
4 to 5 inches thick in ice.
Yeah.
Right? Watching the branches just start to slowly.
Oh, man.
And then all you can hear the whole night. The first one that came down, it sounded like the 4th of July.
Yep.
Crack, 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 crack. And then you'd hear the whole thing come down. And then it was going on all over the neighborhood. It was scary, man.
Yeah, me and the cat sat by the back window just watching the trees come down one night. It's like, geez. And because it was just every few seconds you'd hear a snap and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what it was. It wasn't like a bunch of snow. It was the ice. And we don't really get that very often here in Oregon. And it just froze everything. It was the ice rain or droplets of ice or whatever.
Freezing rain.
Freezing rain, yeah. And it was just nuts.
We were right on the edge of the cold front.
Yeah.
I mean, like right on the edge of it. I mean, just a mile south, and we would have had all snow.
Yeah.
You know, but we were on the other side of it,
Yep.
and that was all freezing rain.
Yep.
And so we had this huge. We had a little bit of snow.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you, we had a layer of ice about an inch thick. And when we broke through the very top 3 inches of ice, there was a layer of snow, pristine, inside the ice,
Yeah.
right? And then underneath it, that other layer of ice, it was a trip. It was like a bubble of snow inside the ice. But when we went out to go take the ice off the car the next day, we had that much
nuts.
ice. It was incredible.
Took a couple hours for me to de-ice my car.
It was nuts.
Yeah, but the thing is, we're safe, and the storm moved on to the rest of the United States. Unfortunately, the storm has actually claimed some lives. It's in other states. Luckily here in Oregon, besides some power outages and a couple unfortunate, people passed away, but in other states, 10, 20, 100 people passed away because of this, and that's really unfortunate. But I want to tell everyone thank you for all the well wishes they sent us. They sent us on the messages and on the videos and everything. But we're okay, and it cleared up pretty fast. We just had to wait for the power to come back on.
Yeah.
Because there was so much limbs and trees down everywhere.
For sure.
But by Monday, it was all gone. All the ice was gone as it warmed up really quickly and melted everything. We just had to wait for all the damage to get repaired.
Absolutely.
But thank you, everyone, for all the well wishes. We're doing good, and we're back to doing this. So.
Absolutely. And we can't understate that enough. I had so many people reach out to me on email, on Instagram, Facebook, and just to see how we were doing.
Yeah.
I had multiple people ask me about you, and then other people said, I heard about you through Bueller. And
Yeah.
so thank you guys very much. But I do want to just mention that our hearts and our prayers go out to all the people in Texas right now that are still going through a very tough time. And that can't be understated enough either. But I just want to let you guys know that we care about you and really hope that you get through this. It's one thing to stay inside of a hotel room, but there are a lot of people out there that didn't have the ability to even do that. And so keep your thoughts with them.
Yeah, exactly. We have a lot of people that watch us from Texas.
For sure.
And like Bob said, our prayers are with you guys. Hopefully everything is getting better now. I saw the thing, and they're going to be like 17 degrees there.
Yeah.
So,
with no water.
We need water. But we got water here. So there you go. But anyway, thank you so much again, to everyone who kind of wished us well. And like I said, we made it. We survived.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, go to your channel. You got something going on this week.
I do. So my channel is Everything Comics, and this week on Thursday, the 25th, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have our monthly comic review.
Awesome.
That's where we get together with some of the greatest YouTubers out there, and we talk about our favorite comics of the month. You'll be on there.
I am?
Yep.
Okay.
Robbie from Pop Culture Philosophers, Dylan from Dylan's Comics. We may have some other guests on there as well.
Very cool.
But that's, again, Thursday night. 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be there at B Square. It's going to be awesome. And then other than that, I haven't put out any content for a little bit just because of everything that's been going on. I'm hoping to be able to put a review video out this week. It may be a mix of last week's comics and this week's comics.
There you go.
And then coming up on March 1st, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday night, I am going to do an interview with David Bueller and Drew Zucker, the creators of Canto. Can't wait to talk to these guys. But tune into the channel. It's gonna be a fun time.
What's a Canto?
What's a Canto? You kill me, bro.
That's awesome, man. I know how big of a fan you are of that book.
Yeah.
And how much it means to you. And now you're gonna hang out with the dudes.
Can't wait, man.
There you go.
It's gonna take me a while to fanboy out before I can calm down and just talk normally, but it'll be cool. I really love those guys.
That's awesome, man. That should be a good interview. Looking forward to it. So what do you
Thanks,
say,
man.
March 1st?
March 1st, Monday night, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
There you go. It's been in the works for a while.
For a while.
I don't got anything coming up.
You always have something coming up.
I don't know, maybe something. Anyway, I think that's about it. I just got my regular videos coming out this week. Nothing too exciting. Just top 10.
Only the most watched preview video.
Preview video. Still doing that thing. Anyway, like I said before, I want to hear your opinion on Department of Truth.
Yeah.
The new one coming out this week. Because like I said, I already took a look at it. The artwork is definitely different. And I will be honest, if that's the artwork going forward, that might be a deal breaker.
I hear you.
I'm not kidding. I mean, no offense to that artist, but sometimes some art styles do not fit certain books. And if that's the artwork that's going forward, that does not fit that book.
Interesting.
It would fit another book, but maybe not that one.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, everyone. Appreciate it.
Great show.
I think that's about it. We're gonna call it good. Bob, you want to take us out?
Oh, here you go again, man.
Let's see if he's got it.
It's been a while, man.
I know. I forgot.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't remember now. Go for it.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know what to do.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. You kill me, dude.